Let's try the new Lisa Eldridge Seamless Skin Enhancing Tint. It retails for $49 and comes in 18 shades. This hybrid formula is supposed to even tone, lift shadows, tone down redness, and boost luminosity. I got mine in the lightest shade, T1. The ingredients are mostly oils. Very high on the list is glycerin, prickly pear, sunflower seed oil, squalane, and cocoa caprylate, plus vitamin E. For comparison, here is her Seamless Skin Foundation in shade number 2, which is a very similar shade to T1. The finish is different. Obviously, it is much more natural matte on the Seamless Skin Foundation, whereas the skin tint is very glowy. It does set down, but it still looks glowy like this. See, you can see this is dry, and the skin tint is still got that shine and glow, but it is a dry glow, whereas the other one is just a natural to dry matte. As you can see right here, the skin tint does oxidize and it is a bit darker on me. Lisa recommends starting with 2 drops for all over light coverage and using your fingers or a brush. Okay, let's get started, and let's start with what I'm wearing as my base. I have worn this skin tint like 5 days in a row now. So I have sort of tried all kinds of things. I can't say I've had a particularly successful base, but this is the one that I'm gonna go with today. Let's start out with, I'm 48 years old. I have a bit of texture in this area and here, and I have very dry skin actually right now because I have gotten back onto very low dose Accutane. I've literally only taken 2 pills, but my skin is drying out, and it's drying out real quick. So I figured something like this skin tint, which is supposed to be very moisturizing, would be a great thing to try with my skin changing like it is. We'll also see if I do still have oily breakthrough. Literally, I've taken 2 Accutane pills, and they're very low dose, very far apart, but I am getting drier. I unfortunately have experienced some breakouts with this. This has cocoa caprylate in it. It is not supposed to be comedogenic. However, if you are sensitive to coconut type products, cocoa caprylate still causes me issues. This has a lot of oils in it. It is meant to be emollient and blurring, and it is supposed to really help moisturize your skin and make it look healthy. That is not what I have found so far with this, but I am also going through an extremely dry period all of a sudden. So we're gonna give this another try today. Here's how I prepped my skin. This does not have SPF in it. It is getting sunny out here in Seattle. I need some SPF. I actually started with this new toner. It's a rice toner. It's very softening. Sorry, I don't have it in my hand right now. I will put it right here. Anytime my skin is ultra dry, starting with some sort of toner or essence really can help everything else sink in and get past that dry layer of skin. For my moisturizer, I am using this Kat Berkey Silk Protein Primer. Now this stuff is really expensive, but I find it on Ipsy sometimes for like $10. It's worth it if you can find it on sale. It is a beautiful, really refined, nice moisturizer. It's really nice. If you can find it on sale, definitely get it. I do need SPF, so I'm actually going to put this on right now. It's my favorite Tarte BB cream. It does a little bit of pore blurring for me, which right now I feel like I need, because I've got that mix between, now I've got a little bit of breakout and acne like on the chin and around here and in these areas. It does a really good job of sort of evening everything out. Let's go ahead and get to application. We're going to give this a shake. It's very watery. I got T1, which is the lightest color. It's not very light for me. As you can see, it is actually a bit dark, but because it is thin and it is a skin tint, it'll work okay for my skin. But it is definitely not what you see online. Like, look at this picture. That does not look like that at all. It looks like it should be white. It's not. At any rate, it is very thin and fluid and liquidy. What it does do, and I don't know, you can't really see it here yet, this sort of oxidizes, certainly in this color, the lightest one, T1. It says to use 2 drops for your whole face. I don't find that that's enough. And it does say to use your hands. It does do a little bit of that blurring that it says that it's supposed to do. It says that you can also use this under your eyes because it is supposed to be, you know, that emollient and that hydrating. So we're gonna go ahead and use it under my eyes. On the other side, I am gonna use a brush just for shits and giggles because why not? I got about half of a face using my fingers with the 2 drops that is recommended. I find that this has a dry finish on it. Why? I have no idea. It is full of oils and squalane and cocoa caprylic. I mean, like, why it ends up looking dry on me, I have no idea. Look at it, looks dry here as it goes on, and it picks up every single little bump which it created because it's breaking me out. And that's, you know, that's not going to happen to everybody, but for me, this one breaks me out for sure because it's lots of little bumps, and that just means it's clogging my pores, and they're kind of reacting to that. On the other side, I'm going to use a brush, and for this, I'm going to put it on with my fingers and then use the brush to spread it. And this is again 2 drops, but per side of my face. So let's go ahead. Using the BK101. This is a really, really nice blurring foundation brush. So I'm trying to give it all the chances in the world. I'm putting it over blurring primers. I am trying to get this to sink in and do its thing and do what it says it's going to do as much as possible. I am giving it the best chances. And as you will see, it just doesn't matter. There is something about this particular formulation. It does not play well with my skin. And you'll see it in the wear test. And I'm sure you can hear the frustration in my voice because I love Lisa Eldridge. I think she has beautiful products. This one is not playing well with me. Okay, so that's it with a brush. And again, every single pore. Hopefully the light's catching it. I'm going to use this to sort of basically wipe a lot of it off, but push the rest of it in, and that does help, obviously. I think maybe why she said to only put 2 drops is because the more you use of this, the worse it looks on your skin. It does dry down, and when it dries down, it becomes dry. Like, I don't like the ones that are so emollient that they never dry down and you have an oil slick on your face all the time. That's frustrating too. But it doesn't provide lasting, like, moisture on me. This is the first application. I'm not even going to try to build it up because I can tell you right now it doesn't build up. That's just frustrating. And as you can see, I don't know if you can see, but there's red. See all these red bumps and stuff? That's acne that I have gotten from using this product. I mean, even up here, I rarely get anything up here. That's everything that I've gotten from using this for the last 5 days. And I don't break out like this anymore unless it's a product doing it. I need concealer with this. Natasha Denona High Glam Concealer is still my favorite. So we're just gonna do that. And then I'm gonna try to not overdo it on these spots because I do want to show how this thing wears. But I got a lot of spots to cover up now thanks to this stuff. So yeah, you know, I hate having to do reviews like this. I was very excited for this. It's better than the Kosas one. That Kosas BB Burst is like literally one of the worst ones I have ever tried. It was really, really awful. The texture was bad, the smell was bad, the greasiness was bad. This one is equally expensive, and a lot of people have been talking it up and saying how great it is, and it just, well, it broke me out. That's never going to endear something to me, right? but it just does not perform at all like I am seeing other influencers say that it does. I just don't know if that is people being nice because we all like Lisa Eldridge, or if it genuinely is that people are having a totally different experience than me. But I mean, I have been giving this a very, very thorough try so that you can see what happened to me. And as you can guess, why I am not going to recommend this one. So, okay. So there's a bit of cover up so that I don't have my spots showing through. I'm leaving the concealer off of here so you can see, and I'll show you in some other wear test stuff, that it does not cover hardly anything at all. My blue vein here is just like, hey, it's right out there. Okay, so let's finish this up with a little bit of powder, using just a little bit, pretty much mostly in the T-zone, because I need to tamp down this weird metallic sort of shine that this has without like crusting on a bunch of powder, because I want to show you what it looks like, not what the powder looks like. So here's what it looks like powdered. Take a closer look. You can still see it's better because it got some of that shine down, but you can still see some of the texture that is here. It's like a mixture of oil sitting on top and probably irritating my skin and causing the bumps, and also whatever the metallic part of it is in there, just really calling attention to every little tiny bit of texture on my skin. Literally the opposite of what anybody wants. Okay, I'm gonna finish up my makeup and then we will get ready to start the wear test. Makeup is done. This is where we are going to start. Give you a close-up look at what it looks like. Under lights, not terrible, but I can tell I don't like the finish and all the texture that I still see. But for science, we're going to go ahead and give it a full wear test so that you can see whether you think this is going to work for you or if you're going to steer clear. Everybody always asks me about my lipsticks. I'm just going to start telling you guys. Okay, so this is the new Milani lip stains, and this is in mauve. And could not be happier with these. They look high-end and they feel really comfortable, and they're really easy to use for a lip stain. And they look cute on your cheeks too. Okay, here's where we're going to begin the wear test. I'll see you guys at the next check-in. Okay, this is a wear test from another day. I'm going to insert this in here just to show you that this breaks me out. I am not even an hour in. Look, that was not there when I put this on and you saw me putting this on today. Why am I gonna pay 50 bucks for a breakout? This might not affect all of you because you might not have the same sensitivities as I do, and I'm not usually very sensitive, but coconut is a no-no for me, and this is why. Okay, I'm gonna pop back in here just because I feel really bad that I super don't like this particular skin tint, and I wanted to show you after I just broke out again that I went ahead and took it all off because I'm done getting acne from this product. So I took that all off. I put on the new Tom Ford $150 new architecture matte one. I'm actually probably not going to keep it because it is too matte for my now getting dry skin, but I used a sponge, and this is what my skin should look like with a nice foundation. This is even a matte foundation, and yes, I have texture and things like that, but it's not even, I've got a little bit of glow and everything like that, but it's not accentuated. So I just wanted to show you that the skin tint really legitimately makes my skin look worse. I had to cover up that new zit that I have. So just wanted to give you a little bit of like reference of like what my skin should look like, could look like with a little bit of help from a foundation versus what that skin tint actually kind of it does to my skin and how much worse it makes it look. So yeah, there you go. All right, so this is 1 hour in, and it's not bad at this point, but when you look up close, you see that there's texture, like every single little pore. When you're like in person with me, you really can see how it has caught the light. It makes my skin look grainy, basically. From a distance, it's fine. Okay, it's been 3 hours. Honestly, like, doesn't look that bad, right? But get up close on it. It's not covering crap. You can see my blue through it. You can see all of my freckles. But this, look at this. It has picked up every single pore. Like, I haven't had something show pores like it's like showing pores in HD. That dry glow on it is awful. Look at that. It's like I put highlighter all over my face, like a really, really highlighty one that really picks up texture. And it feels so dry. I'm starting to break through oils at only 3 hours. And it just feels uncomfortable. It feels like I have sort of like rug burn on my face. Okay, so it's been about 6 hours now. This has held up better than a lot of the other kind of foundations as far as me being oily. It still has that texture that it really, like every single pore, every single one is like, hey, I don't like that. However, at a distance, this looks like my natural skin. It is not covering hardly anything. I mean, you can see I'm a little red under here. You can see nose stuff. I'm torn because, like, why? Why am I going to spend a bunch of money on something that really accentuates my pores? It's not bad as far as what I look like in public. Like, I'm not embarrassed to be out shopping right now. But I have stuff that makes me look a lot better, and this is kind of an expensive skin tint. My Catrice skin tint offers me more coverage and gives me a flawless sort of airbrushed look, and I think I would much rather spend the like $6-8, whatever it is, it's under $10, on the Catrice serum than this one. Again, whenever they're selling it as sort of like, oh, this has got all this great skincare in it, I don't care about that. That usually just means it's going to be hard to use my sunscreen, which I need to be using. And I prefer a skin tint that is just a skin tint. It needs to be hydrating so it doesn't dry me out, but it can't be catching in texture, because why would I do something to make my skin look worse than it already does? And I need some coverage. Kind of going off on this one because it was expensive and I had such high expectations of it. For 6 hours, we're doing pretty good. I'll check in again tonight, but I don't think it's probably gonna be much different. My face still feels a little bit tight, and I'm seeing way more texture without the coverage than I would like in person, especially out in sunlight. So this is really harsh light. Like, this is making me look really bad, but I kind of want stuff that helps with that, right? Okay, anyway, so this is the 6 hour check-in. Probably see you at about 8 or 9 hours, and I'll give you my final thoughts. Okay, I have made it to the 8 hour mark. I'm not going to go on too much because I've already said in a whole lot of my check-ins how frustrated I was with this. As you can see, my oils have broken all the way through. I don't recommend this particular one, especially not for the price. I'm sure maybe somebody this did work for, but it definitely was not for my skin type. Honestly, I just don't know what skin type that this really would work for, mostly because even though it has all of those like moisturizing elements in it, it really should be moisturizing on my skin no matter what I put under it or didn't put under it. It was drying. When I did it on my hand, it goes on really nice. It's very beautiful right as you first put it on. It oxidizes when it dries down, and then it gets very dry, but it still has that sheen. So what that sheen does is, even though it feels actually fairly dry right now, it picks up every tiny pore, absolutely all the texture on your face. Like literally the opposite of what you want. It picks up everything and it reflects it back so that you can see absolutely every stinking pore on your face. I have never had a skin tint that did this. I have never had another even like glowy foundation that did it to this extent. It has that metallic shine, and whenever something is metallic, boy, that metallic kickback, whew, that is the worst if you have textured skin. So, who is this for? The only people that I would recommend this for is exactly who they show in their promo pictures. Young people with absolutely perfect, flawless, beautiful skin. What is the point of putting this on your face if you already look like that? So, I mean, if you just want yourself to be a little more glowy, I guess, it does have a little bit of coverage, so it probably would cover up if you had just like the littlest bit of redness. I think it would do that. I personally, I know it's supposed to be moisturizing, so I would normally say this would be great for dry skin. It did not moisturize me. I have tried this for 4 days in a row now. It is drying on me, and I cannot figure out why. I have looked in the ingredients list. I don't know why. So if anybody else has any ideas as to why this performs like this, or if you have a totally different experience than me, I would love to hear from you, because I am totally befuddled. I am frustrated. I thought this was going to be like, frankly, she has a very pretty foundation. I thought it was going to be like this, where not a lot of coverage, but it was really going to sort of blur and smooth and just make your skin look better. It does exactly the opposite of that for me. So I do not recommend this. I cannot wait to take this off of my face. I'm going out tonight. I am going to do the cleanup challenge like I always do, but frankly, there's just not that much of it on my face. What is left is this metallic sheen. I want to go wash my face is what I really want to do. But we're going to see how this cleans up and see what we can do. I am just going to grab one of my old foundation brushes and we're going to see if we can make kind of quick work of this. Honestly, you have to be okay with the fact that you're not getting any more coverage doing this. So, I mean, this is almost pointless. What I really feel like I should be doing is going in the other room and wiping my face with a towel and maybe just starting over. And then putting something else on my face because I'm going to need that coverage that is gone. It does clean up okay, but I can't tell you that that's not what's left on this brush that is actually helping, to be quite honest, because this is the brush I used earlier. And I still see a lot of texture up here because that metallic, until I wipe this off physically, that metallic, I mean, you can see it. See when I move? The metallic nature is just catching absolutely everything. So we're going to give it one last ditch effort, and we're going to try my Givenchy powder and see if I can get that to kind of chill out a little bit. But the reality is, actually that does seem to help. I had this on earlier and it didn't last. This is one of the few ones that whenever I put powder on it, it looks okay for a minute and then it like goes back to looking metallic again. And you end up like piling on way too much powder trying to make up for it. Okay, well, as you can see, there's just no coverage left. I am basically putting powder on. It's worse than bare skin because it feels a little bit oily, draggy. Skin feels like it has little tiny bumps all over it. Some of this could be, this has that coconut base in it and it's fairly high on the list, and my skin is becoming extra textured as sort of it's clogging every single little pore as a reaction to that particular ingredient. Okay, so with powder, I'm back to looking more normal. I still think I'm going to probably wipe this off and just start over before I go out tonight. Boy. Okay, well, don't need to waste any more time on this. Do I recommend this? Absolutely not, especially not for the price. But even if this was cheap, I would say this is a no-go. At any price, I don't recommend this if you have a similar skin type to me. If you have perfect skin, if you look like those models that she used who are gorgeous and their skin looks gorgeous, who knows if that's just Photoshop as well. When it's that perfect, you just don't know. I did Photoshop art for a long time. They can make that look like real skin, but it's not. So I have no idea whether those are real pictures or not. I am suspect because every single one of those models has the most flawless skin I have ever seen. That is so rare. Like, nobody looks like that, especially not under the lights, and those are big cameras with the ginormous lenses that pick up every single pixel. Yeah, so I have my doubts about those pictures, but if you do look like that, well, then this would probably look really fantastic on you. But also, if you look like that, you don't need this. So, enough said. I am super bummed that this did not work out for me, especially since I was so excited for it. Let me know if any of you have tried it, and I am super curious to see if you've had the same experience or a totally different experience, because I am flabbergasted at how different my experience was than the influencers who I watch and I normally trust. I don't make any money on YouTube at this point. I don't have any sponsorships. I do this as a passion project because I just want to share, and I collect all this crap anyway. I am telling you honestly and showing you the pictures of what this looks like on my skin type. So if you are similar to me, stay far away from this. This is just not going to make you happy. It's going to be super frustrating and a waste of your money. Hopefully I just helped you avoid losing about 50 bucks. If you haven't subscribed yet, I sure would appreciate if you would give me a like and subscribe, as it really helps my channel to grow, and I appreciate you guys being here. Okay, I hope you're having a great day, and I will see you guys in the next video.